Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today we celebrate entertainment's return to the valley. We tour the updated Robbins Theater and talk with Eric Ryan from JAC Management. But first, Help Network is celebrating 50 years. Well, I'm here at the Help Network, celebrating, cannot believe it, 50 years. And I'm here with the CEO, Vince Brancaccio. And it seems like the Help Network has been here forever. And 50 years,
50
really.
years.
But it began as Help Hotline.
1971 started as a drug info line that worked on the weekends in the late hours, specific to the valley. And
Just for drugs?
Drugs and alcohol, yes.
Wow.
And people who would call would be in distress, who were maybe under the influence, struggling with some issues. And we had a couple paid part-time staff and a whole bunch of volunteers, and they would take these calls till 2, 3 in the morning. I will say back then it was a $2,000 budget, you know?
Yeah.
And the agency's evolved into where now we have over 50 employees, close to a $3 million budget, and we do a number of different services. But I will say this, our core is still our suicide hotline. And yes, you're right, it was originally called Help Hotline, then it became Help Hotline Crisis Center. And then in 2017, we rebranded as Help Network of Northeast Ohio.
Well, because it's so, you're not just taking phone calls, you know, trying to talk people down. You are really helping in ways, homeless, vets, housing. I mean, anybody in crisis can call you and you try to piece together, you know, helpful solutions.
You know, we take over 130,000 calls each year. Wow. And I will say we're lake to river, Lake County, Ashtabula, Mahoning, Trumbull, and Columbiana. We're the suicide hotline for those counties, Ashtabula, Mahoning, Trumbull, and Columbiana, 24/7, 365. We do after hours of what's called information and referral service. We all know the number 211. You dial 211, that's Help Network.
And they'll come to you from those 4 areas.
And they'll actually 5 areas.
5 areas.
Lake County after hours, Ashtabula. But the point is, these are people who call the information referral service, part of our agency, who are looking maybe for access to food. You know, they may not have any food in their home. Maybe they're about to be evicted and be homeless. They call us and we can hopefully link them up with housing. Utilities are about to be shut off. The next question that people ask me is, well, how about your calls today? Is it still about food? Is it still about... No. Now our calls are increasing from people who have been isolating, people who are getting depressed, they're getting anxious, and they're using more substances to cope, alcohol and drugs, and then they're saying, oh my God, I think I have a problem. And so they're calling us, and we in turn refer them to one of our behavioral health providers, whether it's a mental health agency or a substance use agency, to get them the help they need.
We were talking earlier, and he was saying, I thought that a lot of, you know, the phone operators here that helped were volunteers. Mm-hmm. But you say, no, I mean, you really need to know what you're doing, so you're paying.
This agency started with just that notion as volunteers. I think what's happened over the years, it's evolved into where it really is a job, and it's a job that you have to do on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. You know, volunteers will maybe volunteer for a couple hours a week, couple hours a month. This job requires a lot of training. You know, our staff are trained in the best practices of suicide intervention. You know, going on the database is a true computer program. You need to know how to navigate through that database. So we made a decision a few years back to just really hire people. In fact, we offer jobs to a lot of the volunteers. We're down to 1 volunteer, and that volunteer has been with us for so long, they don't even want paid.
Now that you know, restrictions have lightened, are you back in fundraising mode? What are we going to do to celebrate? You know, the big 5-0. That's a pretty big deal.
Yes, we had our fundraiser that it was our 13th year. It's our traditional golf outing that occurred the weekend of Memorial Day, that Friday before Memorial Day. It was actually the largest outing we've had to
I
date.
think people were just dying to get out.
And it's funny you said that, because I said I'd like to think everybody wanted to come because it was help network, but I think the reality is people just wanted to golf, and we're the first outing. And we purposely do that. We're the first nonprofit outing in the community, and so people just wanted to golf. And it's at a nice golf course, and it's the Friday before Memorial Day.
Really, what do you need? You know, what do you see in the future that's going to, you know, be one of your biggest challenges?
Well, the biggest challenge today is it's not public knowledge in that it hasn't gone into operation yet, but there is going to be a 3-number hotline number for the whole country that's been adopted. And once that goes into effect, people will no longer have to remember the 1-800 number. This number will be easy to remember. People will start calling that. They're expecting crisis hotlines throughout the country to have an increase in calls from 15 to 25% as soon as that number is announced and goes into effect. Ohio is going to play a key role in this, the state of Ohio, in that our Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services is saying, hey, look, we need to answer more calls as suicide crisis hotlines and be available. And one of the things that's happening now is National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, they get a bulk of those calls, and then they transfer them to centers in the different states. Right now, our state's answering around 60% of those calls. They want to see us get to about 80 or 90%. That's going to be a challenge, you know, because the ask is this: there's going to be more money that needs to be invested in technology, more money invested into the infrastructure, but we also have to invest in our employees. And you know, one of the things we're looking at is increasing the salaries of our employees on the crisis hotline. First, to retain, you know, employees, and second, to provide an opportunity for others who may want to work here.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Bernard. I've been giving the people of our valley free advice for over 30 years, and my message has never changed. If you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, don't try to handle it yourself. Call a lawyer. A lawyer will be your representative, dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the red tape that you may face. Hiring a lawyer doesn't mean you'll end up in court, and remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases.
That's good advice. Need a lawyer? Learn more at ElizabethBernardLaw.com.
Family-owned Mayflower Woolham Insurance Group is your full-service independent agency. Our family works with a variety of insurance companies, so you have the best choices for your insurance needs. Let us find the right product at the right price. Personal lines, business, farm, commercial insurance, life insurance. Trust locally owned Mayflower Woolham. You focus on what's important.
We'll take care of the details.
Mayflower Woolham, close by with 3 locations to serve you.
Rulli Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old Road Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Well, I am here with Rude the Dude at the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. Summer has arrived, and you have got so much going on, Rudy.
Yes, we do, Casey. You know, we're coming out with a new menu for the summer, springtime. We started a brunch now on Sundays, 11 to 4. We got the banquet room filling up fast right now for graduation parties and showers. We're going back to the farm to table menu now on the weekend, so supporting our local farms again. So again, we're getting back to normal again, back to what we used to be, and we're just gonna do what we're used to doing here.
They're gonna have entertainment out on this gorgeous patio, and if you need to know what is happening at the Magic Tree, just sign on to their social media accounts. Go to Facebook, Instagram, go to their website, but there is always something happening here at the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery.
Mara Jewelers is the place to buy an engagement ring because we want a relationship with you that lasts a lifetime. Your commitment with her is the same commitment we have to you.
We want to sit down with you and teach you about diamonds so you're educated on what you're buying. We have the largest selection we ever have, which is the largest in the area, and at the best value. And if it's not something in our case, we could always custom make it. We can make any dream come true.
Get real, get Kamara.
Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available. Given is living. Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available at $13 an hour. Given is living.
You are going to love this segment. I'm here with Ken Haderas. He is the president, of Sunrise Productions. And he is responsible for bringing the entertainment here to the Robbins Theater over at River Rock at the Amp. And I've been wanting to come here, but COVID kind of put a little pause in our interviews. Now you're back open.
Here we are.
And I have finally got the 25-cent tour. This is an amazing venue.
We're going to give you the dollar tour when we're done with this interview.
Thank you. So I'll have to pay a little bit more. But this is unbelievable.
I'm biased, but you know what? During all the renovations, I kept seeing more and more things come out. And even now, when I walk in, I see something new every day because there's a lot of detail. Like, when you look up at the ceiling, there was a guy named Harry Leith. He was a master plasterer, and he did a lot of this work. I mean, the plaster part of it, there was a lot of people involved.
Master Blaster. I think they should be playing
That's like
here.
a Kiss song, Master Blaster.
Here.
So, it's incredible. It's just incredible.
It is. Now, how long was this vacant before
From
the
1974.
renovation?
So Mark Marvin, who is president of Downtown Development Group, Jimmy DeCenzo, Mark's wife, she did all the decorating, asked if we would be involved with this, and I said, yeah, let's go for it. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
And when Mark says something, it's gold. When he says it, it gets done. And he bought it, and it was the fastest theater renovation in the United States. 18 months, this thing was done.
For that long, and to not have such incredible damage.
There was some on the stage. There was a skylight where water had leaked in. There were some issues over here. But the bones of this building, look at that marble. That marble is the original marble.
And
the walls are 18 inches thick with concrete. It's actually a curse sometimes when you want to blow through a wall. You really got to
blow through the wall.
It's almost diamond. It's not diamond.
I am shocked though at how comfortable the seats are. Even though the original seats, all new padding, all new fabric on top.
All new powder coated everything.
It is beautiful. Now, for this size venue, what did you say? 1,400 capacity.
1,400 seats. Not a bad seat in the house.
No,
there's not a bad seat in the house.
You're upstairs, your mezzanine. You really are. There's no sight.
The sight line is great.
Sight line. Yeah,
so if you're looking above us, remember when this theater was built in 1923, there was no speakers. So it was so the sound would come up through here and go up to the balcony and vice versa.
It's all acoustic.
So we've had some, it was built, the walls are rounded. The violinists that have played here with no sound, the sound is truly incredible. Everything is amazing here, it really is. If you haven't seen the bathrooms downstairs or upstairs, it's like you're walking into back in time. The attention for detail for anything, and that will be something. And by the way, you're doing much better on the fourth take, I have to tell you. Fourth take, folks, just so you know.
What are you looking at in terms of artists? Where does that leave you?
Well, there's some theaters that are too big, like 2,400 seats. Some acts don't fit in that.
Yes.
The place is too big. I honestly believe good acts, obviously sell seats. But this place, sometimes if an act only sells X amount of tickets somewhere else, I think we sell more here because of the theater, the acoustics, and the experience. It's actually a great place. America's going to be here. That's been announced.
Yes.
Jimmy Vaughn.
Jackal.
Oh, God, there's so much. And we have so many more shows coming that I can't even think of right now.
I'm trying to remember, you opened up with Big Bad
Voodoo Daddy. You said that very well, by the way.
Perfect for comedians. This is
and we're working on that too.
Really nice venue.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
when you
perfect.
see those comedians when they want to tape their specials.
We have Justin Hayward. We were scheduled Justin Hayward from the Moody Blues.
Yes.
Now he's coming, I believe, in September. Air Supply is going to be here, but they were supposed to be here, I think this month, and that has been rescheduled till next spring.
Well, because everyone's
Yes,
readjusting
Ace
their
Frehley was
schedules.
supposed to be. He's going to be
Oh,
here in
that'll be
March.
awesome.
And this is a perfect venue for Ace Frehley.
Perfect.
So a lot of stuff got moved, but we have booked so much stuff in between now, in the next 12 months, because all the acts want to be out. My only concern is, I don't think so, is that, maybe too many concerts, But I think people are ready to break loose and they really won't care. A lot of people were stuck at home for 13, 14
Exactly.
months.
Now, you're also responsible for the acts at the River Rock at the Amp.
Correct.
What's the approach, when you're booking there, what is this capacity at the Amp?
Well, capacity goes all the way out on the lawn, so you can get 4,000 or 5,000 people.
Wow, I mean, that's
Not
a
everybody
pretty
can see
big
the
venue.
stage. Not everybody can see the stage.
You can hear.
You can hear.
Yeah, that's always a good time at the Amp. So when you're looking to book bands there, and with the weather consideration,
Oh, geez.
how do you approach that?
Rain insurance.
Okay.
Event insurance,
Yeah.
number one. Not all the shows, but some shows get a little pricier.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff, here's the way I look at it. Led Zeppelin's never playing again. So we have a Zeppelin
Are you
band.
sure?
I know Pink Floyd's never playing again. So those tributes are very good. We try to bring in the best of the best. And everybody wants to have music they can sing to.
Yeah.
We have an act this year, Billy Joel and Elton John. It's called Face to Face. It's incredible.
They're really good. I mean,
Incredible.
they know the songs.
And people will stand up and sing the songs,
And
and
your
they feel
admission, what is the cost there? I mean, it is much
$8
lower.
to $12.
Yeah, I mean, and for that is a bargain. When I was little, my parents always had
Just a few years
season
ago.
just a couple years ago,
Okay.
for the Kenley Players.
Yeah.
And John Kenley brought in big
you watch Johnny
names.
Carson. Where are you going to be next week?
We're-
Warren,
yeah,
Ohio,
Warren,
the Kenley
Ohio.
Players.
And I mean, the people that came through Warren, and that was
Bus tours.
stress.
Bus tours.
You have the Kenny Players.
We'll play on words.
You
yeah.
are going to have
a members-only club.
and then that will give them access, like first right to buy and things
First
like
right
that.
to buy. It's only going to be 40 memberships right now. We have
Oh.
another room in case we have to
Goodness,
add
very
on.
exclusive.
Well, it's not. That's the space that we have.
Okay.
But so you get your tickets, and then you can come in 2 hours before the show. There's adult beverages available with the membership, appetizers. We're going to give some tchotchkes away, like some nice, whiskey glasses,
Yeah.
and like a Robbins Theater shirt.
Okay.
So yeah, and I think corporations are interested because they can bring clients.
Well, it's nice for entertainment,
Yeah, it's an
yeah.
entertainment thing, but I think people like to make
So
a big
would
deal out
you
of something.
be the Kenny from the Kenny Players?
Yes.
I gotta see you.
I don't know if that's good or bad, to be honest with you, but yes, I am. Yeah.
I don't know if I want
We'll have a couple adult beverages
belong
together.
to that club.
I don't know. We may hope we have some memberships left, but we'll work on that.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
To own a business where your name's on the window can be pretty cool. That's my family. My name is Danny Catullo, and I'm the owner of Catullo Prime Meats. My grandfather started the business in 1962. I was able to take our old-style butcher shop and bring it out to the new age using e-commerce to get our products to more customers. When we started shipping, there was not a ton of information out there. That's where we really worked with FedEx so they could be able to help us with our perishable shipping. We were taking on new purchases that we never had to make before. Boxes, coolers, ice packs, anything that was involved around shipping. So we can no longer do this with the cash that we had on hand. So because of the Plum Card from American Express and all of its benefits, it was a natural fit to help grow our business. And when someone calls and lets you know that you made their dinner, that's satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else.
Is it time to update your color style? R&S Paint will assist you with your choice of over 3,400 Benjamin Moore colors. Vibrant, durable, and easy to apply. Be current, be stylish. Shop R&S Paint.
So you're looking to enhance your garage floor.
Absolutely.
Get rid of cracked and stained concrete. Even out your garage floor with Pebblestone, the best concrete covering. Here's your new floor. Ta-da! Pebblestone is made with natural stone and the strongest man-made binder. It's easy to clean, withstands moisture, and adds value to your home.
Isn't this incredible?
I love it. Call now and receive 50% off select colors. Trust the Valley's own Pebblestone.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Well, it has been a while since I visited with my friend Eric Ryan, the president of JAC Management Group. And what have you been doing for the last, I don't know, 18 months?
That's a good question.
Because, I mean, this really affected your job.
Well, yeah, I mean, you go from 1,000 mile an hour to zero, you know. I tell people we went from 450 employees company-wide to 6. So it's been difficult, but you know what? We made it through it. We're here, and
we are here. So my question, you know, that you have really booked a lot of stuff already for the Youngstown Amphitheater. Now tell me, how did that work? The governor finally issues the all good, go ahead. Did your phone, did you just blow it up? Or did you already know who was touring? How did that work?
Well, you know, contrary to what some people may have thought, you know, we kept working the whole time and pushing dates back and rescheduling, even shows that we had offered on, you know, that may not have announced. So we tried the best we could to stay in front of it. And all I kept saying, if you talked to me during the pandemic, was like, we need information, you know. I mean, you know, we were in the mass gathering business, and there was no worse business to be in. I tell people that we did not have a takeout menu.
No.
You know, and so you know, we stayed ahead of it, thank goodness. And then, you know, when we got the call, we kind of knew that at 4:30, we kind of, some people were telling us that it was coming down at 5:30. So we just started ringing those phones, you know, and calling people, and everybody was ready to get back to work. And you know, luckily we were able to put together one heck of a lineup.
I know. I mean, you know, Foreigner, Counting Crows. I'm trying to think of all the bands now. Nelly. I mean, and you know, you're starting with the big,
Train.
you know, Train.
Yeah, Blackstreet. Blackstreet's our first show on July 2nd. It's selling great R&B band, and I think we have such the lineup is so diverse. I mean, there's something for everybody. You know, we have a country show. We have old school rock show. We have R&B show. We have a rap show. We have everything that you would want.
And you've got the Canfield Fair.
Yeah.
That's blowing up. So how about Shinedown at the fair?
Amazing.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, think about that. Shinedown is playing the Canfield Fair.
Yeah, and you know, I always say Shinedown's kind of the Mahoning Valley's rock band. I mean, it's just amazing, and tickets are selling incredible. And they're a clean rock band. I mean, they really are. You know, they're not, and you know, they're the #1 most played rock band on Active Rock in the history of the world.
That's crazy.
So it's crazy. It's selling really great.
And then Darius Rucker. I mean, that's a get.
Yeah,
that's
Darius on
get.
Sunday is a wonderful show.
And the ticket sales are good for that?
Great, yeah. Listen, the community was ready to come out, because I'm telling you, I look at ticket sales about 150 times a day, you know? And they're selling, and people are excited to get out.
Because Youngstown usually waits till the last minute, but not this time.
No,
way.
They're getting out and buying tickets.
They don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
You know, the YSU Festival of Arts, that's going to be interesting. You're going to have it right here along the corridor under the bridge.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
How did that work out?
At Huntington Community Alley, underneath the bridge, it's going to be all right there. And then in the Ween Park, So so we've been talking to YSU about it. It was something that when they saw our property down here and the space that we had, felt that it would be a great fit.
And the parking is so much easier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's plenty of room to grow, and we'll grow into the amphitheater as it moves along, but we're so excited. That's such a wonderful event for our community.
I love that. That is one of my favorite things with all the artists. I mean, it really is, and the musicians. Back in the day when he was little Eric Ryan, and he had the cellar in Struthers. Our man, Joe Bonamassa.
Oh my gosh.
He used to play at the cellar. When Eric had the cellar, that place was jammed.
Yeah.
It's exciting. How is it like talking to him again? Do you deal with him at all?
Yeah, the funny
He's
thing
got to
is,
remember those
he
crazy
absolutely
days.
remembers the cellar.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, a lot of people don't know this. The first time we had him, I was still working at the mill at the time, and I got off 3 to 11, and I said, how many people do they have? They said, we have about 25, and Casey and Cornell, 2 of them. I said, oh my gosh. And so they said, well, you got to come see this guy. He's amazing. And amazing. And he was very kind to us then, and we said, let's try to build it and do it. And obviously, he's just blown up nationally.
Oh my gosh, he's so good.
But then it just, that show turned into, and I think we had him about 6 times.
We had him a lot. He was like the house band.
Yeah.
Him and Tommy Castro. We had like 2 bands. It was so much fun. And, I know you missed those days, but this is so awesome.
We're just happy to be back in business and, start entertaining again. I said, I didn't realize, I always knew how much I loved it, but just being out of business for 15 months, it's good to be back and entertaining people.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.